Most people think they understand the Porsche Cayenne, and that confidence is exactly what traps them. Because the moment you believe you already know something, you stop paying attention, and this video begins right at that moment. If you leave early, you'll walk away with the same shallow conclusion almost everyone else has, that this is just another expensive SUV. But the Cayenne isn't trying to prove anything to you. It isn't chasing attention. It's quietly reshaping how you feel without asking permission. Even standing still in a showroom, it doesn't feel rushed. The sharp front headlights, the heavy stance, the way the body sits low and composed all send the same signal. Everything here is under control. And that's the most dangerous part. You feel it immediately, but you can't explain why. Your brain registers stability before you ever think about speed. Porsche never explains this effect out loud, because once you become aware of it, it stops working. That's why this car doesn't announce itself. It waits. And if you think you already understand it, that's exactly when it starts working on you. The design of the Cayenne isn't meant to look fast, it's meant to feel stable. From the side, the wide proportions immediately ground the car. The body doesn't stretch upward, it settles downward. The full-width rear light bar visually lowers the stance, while the solid wheel arches give the impression that the car is planted even before it moves. This isn't decoration, it's perception engineering. Your brain reads balance long before it reads performance. And balance creates calm. Calm creates confidence. Without realizing it, that confidence transfers from the design to your behavior. You trust what looks composed. That's why the Cayenne never needs aggressive styling tricks. It doesn't shout for attention, it communicates quietly. Every surface feels intentional, controlled, finished. There are no nervous lines, no desperate angles, just presence. And once your brain accepts that presence, it stops looking for danger. This matters more than people realize, because from this moment on, you're not just seeing the car. The car is already influencing how you're prepared to use it. Opening the door doesn't feel luxurious in the traditional sense. It feels deliberate. Everything inside the Cayenne is placed with purpose. The screens don't compete for your attention. The dashboard doesn't overwhelm you. The steering wheel feels solid, weighted, exact. Even before the engine starts, the cabin tells you how this car wants to be used. The materials are calm, controlled, almost quiet. Nothing sparkles for validation. Nothing asks to be admired. That silence isn't about comfort, it's about readiness. Without noticing it, your posture changes. Your hands settle differently on the wheel. Your focus narrows. This interior doesn't relax you, it aligns you. And that alignment is subtle enough that most drivers never realize it's happening. They just feel more confident, more centered, more precise. That's not an accident. Porsche understands that the way a space feels directly affects how you behave inside it. And by the time you notice how composed everything feels, the cabin has already done its job. You're not just sitting in the Cayenne anymore. You're calibrated to it. This is where most opinions about the Cayenne completely fall apart. Some people call it an overpriced family SUV. Others say it's a sports car that lost its identity. Both sides miss the point. The Cayenne was never designed to fit neatly into a category. It exists between them on purpose. That's why debates about this car rarely last. People don't argue about it online. They buy it quietly. Porsche didn't keep the Cayenne alive for over 2 decades by accident. This vehicle funded the future of the brand while redefining what performance could feel like in a larger form. Once you understand why the Cayenne exists, comparing it to other SUVs stops making sense. And that realization is uncomfortable, because it forces you to rethink how you judge cars in the first place. The Cayenne doesn't ask to be ranked, it asks to be understood, and most people never slow down long enough to do that. The Cayenne doesn't rush to feel fast, it prefers to feel controlled. Even at normal speeds, the car feels settled, composed, intentional. The suspension doesn't isolate you from the road, it filters it. You feel what matters and nothing that doesn't. In corners, the weight doesn't disappear, it reorganizes. The car doesn't fight physics, it works with it. The steering isn't light or playful, it's precise, dense, predictable. This isn't a vehicle that dares you to push harder. It quietly removes the need to. Speed becomes secondary. What takes over is trust. You stop making constant corrections. You stop second-guessing inputs. The car responds exactly as expected every single time. And when that happens, something interesting occurs. You begin to trust the car more than your instincts, not because it feels exciting, but because it feels inevitable. This is the kind of control that makes aggressive driving feel unnecessary. Once you experience that, it becomes very hard to go back. Inside the Cayenne, technology never tries to impress you. It doesn't demand attention. It removes friction. Screens respond instantly, layouts make sense, and nothing feels buried or confusing. You're never hunting through menus or fighting systems. Everything works the way your brain expects it to. Voice controls feel natural. Driver assistance systems don't interrupt. They observe quietly in the background. And that silence matters. Because the moment technology stops pulling at your focus, your mind stays clear. You're not reacting. You're operating. Porsche understands that bad technology is loud, but good technology disappears. That's the strategy here. Instead of adding stimulation, the Cayenne subtracts resistance. And when nothing is distracting you, your awareness expands. The road feels simpler, decisions feel lighter. This isn't about digital features or screen size. It's about mental load. Reduce that and everything else becomes easier. That clarity is intentional. And once you experience it, other systems start to feel unnecessarily demanding. On longer drives, something subtle begins to happen. Time stops behaving the way you expect it to. The cabin is quiet but not empty. It's controlled. The kind of silence that keeps you present instead of relaxed. Road noise fades without disappearing. The car never isolates you completely. It keeps you connected, just enough. After a while, you stop thinking about the vehicle. You stop thinking about the road. Movements feel natural, inputs feel effortless, minutes stretch without pressure. An hour passes faster than it should. This isn't comfort in the traditional sense. It's alignment. Your breathing slows, your shoulders drop. Not because the car is soft, but because nothing is fighting you. The Cayenne doesn't distract, excite, or overwhelm. It synchronizes. And when everything is synchronized, stress has nowhere to exist. That's when you realize this experience was never about horsepower or performance numbers. It was about removing friction between you and motion. Once that happens, driving stops feeling like a task. It becomes a state. That's why the Cayenne never rushes. It doesn't need to. This car doesn't prove itself through noise, speed, or spectacle. It works quietly, patiently, reshaping how you think without ever asking for permission. After a while, you realize this was never really about design, technology, or performance figures. It was about perspective. The way stability changes confidence, the way confidence changes behavior, and the way behavior changes how you experience the road. Earlier, I warned you that if you thought you already understood the Cayenne, you were probably wrong. Now that warning should finally make sense, because once you see what this car is actually doing, you can't unsee it. Other SUVs start to feel louder, more desperate, more demanding. The Cayenne doesn't compete for attention, it waits for understanding. And every time you drive it, the story doesn't end. It restarts, quietly, precisely, exactly when you think nothing is happening.